And make sure whatever number you pick, go ahead and get started, whether it's a customer or distributor, but let's do it tonight. And so we're going to pivot real quick because right now it's time for training. I know many of you heard a lot. And so now we're going to slow it down. We're going to talk just more in detail about some of the options for you to get started. We're going to talk a little bit more about the bitters and why they're so significant and why you want to do that. We're going to go a little bit more in detail to this flat belly fuel, and we'll be here to answer questions. And so maybe you have some questions that you want to propose to us. We have one of our naturopaths who's going to be joining us. I'm going to check real quick to see if she's already on the line. And she is. So great job, Dr. Bettye. She's here. And so we're going to bring her up. But before I do it, I want to first kind of just share with you that we're super excited about our bitters blood type detox. Okay, I'm going to first give you a personal story of how we came about the bitters. Okay, you know, we got started, as many of our distributors will tell you, in 2019 with CBD, but in 2021, you know, we actually introduced the concept of bitters. And how I first learned about bitters is through my husband. For many of you who know my husband, he's in his 60s. He's got a little waist, you know, broad shoulders, very fit, you know, but he's, you know, again, in his 60s. He'll be retiring next year. And I would always tease his friends because his friends would say stuff like, hey, you know, what are you doing to keep him so young? He looks so youthful. He's always in shape. And I would tease them and I say, oh, it's the bitters, you know. My husband, when I first married him, and he, well, I guess married me, he asked me to marry him, right? However you say it, but he would take these bitters. And I'm like, what is these bitters? And he would share with me the ancient tradition in Africa of how you have to cleanse the body. And you have to do that regularly. So they would eat little bitter items. And I started researching it. And it made so much sense because if you look at in Asia, they say something like, if it's bitter, it's better. If it's sweet, it doesn't eat. And so the Africans actually were probably the originals of this whole bitter concept. But it's a tradition we kind of lost, I guess, maybe due to slavery. We never got some of that training about why we need to eat those herbs and to eliminate our body. But it's a great way for us to eliminate the unwanted belly fat, right? And so once I saw his results, I went to a formulator and we were able to come up with these bitters, okay? And these bitters have been just such a phenomenal part of our success. And we're super excited because here in 2024, we've really made this the focus. And so without any further ado, I'm going to introduce to you our awesome and amazing naturopath. She's also our compliance officer, our chief compliance officer here, you know, with Akana. And she helps every day with quality. She helps with ensuring our products are always done at the highest levels. And just when you look at her track record, she's also a registered nurse, just so much experience in the health and wellness, in the energy space. If you heard of energy medicine, she's one of the pioneers there, really helping to lead the charge. And so Dr. Bettye, you know, I am so happy you're joining us tonight to share with everyone just a little bit more first about bitters. And so they can understand that. We'll get into some of the kits next, and then we'll go into the flat belly fuel. So can you first just quickly give them an update on why they need bitters and how it works? And if you can't unmute, let me try to help you. 1 second. There you go. You should be able to unmute now.
Okay, great. Good evening, everybody. So, why we need bitters? Oh my gosh, we need bitters because we are full of it. And when I say full of it, I mean we are full of waste from our small intestines, which emanate from the stomach, all the way down to our colon, and which is the reservoir, I'll call it, for waste waiting to be eliminated. So the reason that we need the bitters is because, like I said, we are full of it. And so we have an approximate 32 feet of intestine, which if you stretch it out would be almost the length of a baseball field. Those intestines have waste that has accumulated in the lining along the lining of those intestines for years and years, and actually for decades, depending on how old you are. And that caked on waste limits the amount of movement that our intestines have to move that waste along. That movement is called peristalsis, and it is a wave-like movement of the intestines that moves the food from our stomach all the way down through the small intestines into the colon. And so because that movement is decreased because of this caked on waste, excess mucus and the like, then we, for the most part, are a pretty constipated society. And when I say constipated, some people think, that means that you don't have a bowel movement for a long time, like weeks at a time. But no, if you don't have adequate full movements daily, then guess what? You are constipated. Now, I know you go to the doctor and they ask you about your elimination, your bowel movements, and you say, every other day, every couple of days, maybe once a week. And they say, if that's normal for you, then that's normal. That is not true. We eat every day. Some of us eat 3 times a day. And that means we are supposed to eliminate at a minimum daily. Now, if you look at animals, they eat and they go. They eliminate within a half an hour. They have a much shorter digestive system, fewer intestines for all of that food to go through. And so just think about it. If you took a plate of food and you put it on the table and you walked away and you didn't come back for several days, that food would be rotting. It would be putrefying. It probably would be stinking, and you could probably see microorganisms growing on it, maybe even some maggots. Well, guess what? That is pretty much what's going on internally when we don't have adequate elimination. And guess what? That's why our poop stinks. So that is the benefit, or the necessity, I really want to say, for utilization of the bitters. So not only does it clean out our, as Minister Mooney calls it, our porta potty, but it also helps to boost our digestion because it stimulates the production of digestive enzymes like bile and stomach acids. It also helps to regulate our appetite and reduce cravings for unhealthy foods like sugary snacks and foods. It also helps to support detoxification by filtering out toxins from our blood. And that is done by way of the proprietary blend of herbs that are in the bitters. Also helps to support detoxification of our liver because it helps to filter toxins from our blood. It helps to eliminate fat-soluble toxins through our digestive system. And let me just say about those fat-soluble toxins, when we have a lot of toxins circulating in our bloodstream, the body takes care of it. Those toxins are actually stored in the fat cells to protect us from their negative effects. And it protects us from having all of those toxins circulating in our system. And so this is one of the reasons why many times it's difficult to lose weight, lose the fat in the body, because our body is so protective of our system in general that it is not going to allow that fat to be broken down or used as energy, because once that happens, then those toxins would be let loose in our system and we would be poisoned, so to speak, by the release of those toxins. So the fat cells hold on to it in an effort to protect us. And so the more toxins we put on, the more fat cells hold on to more and more of those toxins. And so then you see it's very difficult to lose that fat. In addition to that, the bitters also help to alkalize our body and to reduce inflammation. It improves our microbiome or our gut by promoting the growth of beneficial bacteria and inhibiting the growth and development of harmful bacteria. So that is the benefit of the bitters.
Awesome, Dr. Bettye. Thank you so much. And now we can just kind of go through the process of how they incorporate that, and we'll then go through some more details, even the meal plan. So maybe just teach them real quick, how do they use those bitters?
Okay, so the bitters comes in the pack. You open it up and you'll find a muslin bag tied up, and it's full of herbs. Do not, I repeat, do not take that loose. You want to take 40 ounces of water, hopefully purified water. You're going to boil it. You then remove it from the heat and you place the whole tea bag in the water, and you allow it to steep for at least 8 hours. After that, you can refrigerate it, preferably in a glass jar, because you know the plastics have a tendency to leach chemicals. And then the procedure is that for 4 days, you drink 8 ounces once a day, or you can break it up and you can take 4 ounces in the morning and 4 ounces in the evening. Now, this is going to increase your elimination. So you might want to begin on a weekend so that you see how your body reacts, or how your elimination increases once you start the bitters. And then you're going to follow the bitters blood type meal plan. And we're going to go into that a little bit later. But one thing I would like to caution you about is to try to steer clear of sugary snacks and a lot of refined carbs, because these can hamper the overall effectiveness of the detoxification process.
Bettye, that was great. And so now we want to talk about getting started, because when you purchase your pack, you'll receive a digital blood type food list, and we're going to show you how to download that. So let's say you've already purchased a blood type starter kit. There's a QR code you're going to scan, and that's going to give you all the items that are approved for your blood type, okay? Now, as we always say, if you're on medication under doctor's care, please consult first with your physician, and also make sure you alert your wellness coach of this, okay? Before you start your regimen, make sure it's right for you. There are other options too. You've heard many testimonials about our 7 and 21 day cleanse. So if you really want to elevate your health, those are options as well. And for the best results, we suggest cleansing 2 to 4 times a year. You really want to have goals and weight loss objectives, all year round. And so now that we've gotten started, let's look real quick at our blood type starter kits. And so let's say you've purchased either one of these kits, whether it's a kit number 1 or kit number 2. That's going to include the bitters that Dr. Bettye discussed. It's also going to include a physical copy that comes in your box that's going to go through the meal plan. So you open that meal plan so that you can go through it step by step. You're going to have your sample of your fuel. And then again, there's a digital download of all the foods to eat. And so what does that digital download look like? Well, I'm going to show you as soon as we go through this one. So let's say you enrolled in the auto ship program for the 109. The difference with this is you're going to receive a full 16-ounce bag of the fuel, and also the family digital download list. And so when you get your kit in the mail, depending on what you bought, you'll get either this right here, which is the family yes list. And so if you paid the 109, It's going to have a QR code. And now where you see password, it's going to give you the actual password. So you put that, so any of you can scan it right now. So if you want to scan it to see where it goes, everyone can go to the site, but you can only access the site with your specific password that comes in your kit. And you're able to use this just that one time. The password will expire. So we tell everyone to use that within 7 days of receiving the kit in the mail. Okay, so by the time you get in the kit in the mail, make sure within 7 days you went online and got your yes list. Okay, and so again, if you bought the 109, you're getting the family list. If you bought the individual blood type starter kits, you're getting the individual list specifically for your blood type. And the website is knowyourbloodtype.info. If you are on the family plan, if you're on the individual plan, it's knowyourbloodtype.com. Okay. And so your yes list, you're going to be super happy to get it. It's going to look something like this. So whether you're A, B, O, AB, it's going to give you everything you can eat. So you're going to be so excited, and it's going to highlight your medicine foods. So the medicine foods are the ones in green, and anything you see in blue, these are the blue zone foods. These are the types of foods people eat in the countries that live the longest. And so you're going to know exactly how to plan your meals accordingly, because we're giving you everything, even the RH factor and some of the other solutions. Okay. And so now let's kind of go through the grocery list, Dr. Bettye. So we're going to go through the grocery list, and then we're going to go through the fruits and the vegetables. So let's go slide by slide, and let's kick them off with, again, what they should avoid and what they should minimize.
Okie dokie. So during your detox, you should avoid red meat, pork, chicken, and fried foods. You want to minimize the sugars that you intake, because they actually feed the harmful bacteria in your gut and reduce the effectiveness of the bitters. So avoid added sugars. And you can access that information. Always read your labels and pay attention to the areas that say carbohydrates, the number of grams of sugar, as well as the portion that says added sugars. And be sure you purchase a blender so that you can do your smoothies. Then you want to make sure that you eat your veggies. So now spinach, kale, I want to alert you that spinach and kale are on the Dirty Dozen list. And that list consists of foods that have a very high content of pesticides in them. So you want to avoid commercial spinach and kale and purchase that organic if at all possible. Then you can also include broccoli, red onions, garlic, cilantro, carrots, beets, and celery. And you also want to make sure that you check your yes list on the blood types for each of these vegetables to make sure that they are appropriate for your blood type. And then it's a must that you hydrate with water. Clean water, spring water, alkaline water, or even hydrogen water are recommended. And so spring water is naturally alkaline. Drink at least 64 ounces of water daily, or half your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, then you need to drink 100 ounces of water a day. So that's like almost 3/4 of a gallon. And then, and let's say you only weigh 100, well, even if you weigh 100 pounds, you still can benefit from the bitters detox, because even we little people have toxins in our body. So let's say you weigh 100 pounds, so you would want to drink 50 ounces of water daily, and so on and so on. Now, the Harvard Medical School suggests that adults drink 16 to 24 ounces per hour based on your weight. So we encourage you to really sip your water slowly and stay within these guidelines to help flush out the toxins, because if you drink more than, some people say, oh, let me get a quart out of the way, and they gulp down a quart of water at one sitting, and that is not good. Number one, your kidneys won't appreciate it, and number two, that does not serve to dissolve the toxins, or mix them in solution. Dissolve, same difference, so that they can be eliminated appropriately. So spread your water intake out throughout the day. And then in terms of your fruits, blueberries are always great. Apples, strawberries, pineapples, and limes. Again, check your approved blood type listing for the fruits that are most appropriate for your blood type. And then proteins, there's turkey, sardines, hemp, salmon. Again, check your blood type list for the appropriate meats, seafood, as well as plant-based proteins. And then there are the healthy fats. You got your flax seeds, your pecans, walnuts, and almonds. You can even have the pecans, walnuts, and almonds as a snack, which make a great addition to proteins. Then you got your hemp. You can even do hemp seeds and raw almond butter. Sounds like a great sandwich. Well, actually, you could do sandwiches with maybe some sourdough bread or some Ezekiel bread, and put your almond butter on there. Sounds good, doesn't it? And then we're talking healthy snacks. You could enjoy, like I just mentioned, your almonds, pecans, or walnuts, maybe a half a cup a day, is about the size of a snack bag, along with your raw fruits and veggies. And then we already went through making the tea, so we won't do that. Now, in terms of the breakfast and or your morning routine, upon waking, you want to drink at least 8 ounces of water with lemon in it. And really, I know some people like cold water, like ice water, but trust me, that is not a good idea. The best way to drink your water, especially on waking, is either warm or room temperature. And then you can drink green tea, which supports and enhances detoxification 2 to 3 times a day. And you can drink 4 ounces of the flat belly bitters tea. Again, you can do 8 ounces once a day, or you can break it up into 4 ounces twice a day. Then for breakfast or your morning routine, making a smoothie is great. You can add 1 to 2 tablespoons of the flat belly fuel meal replacement with 8 ounces of water, and you blend it with spinach or kale. You can also add flaxseed oil, cilantro, because cilantro also is great in terms of helping to detoxify the body of heavy metals, as well as berries. I'm telling you that flat belly fuel meal replacement is delicious, and that with the water is going to give you all the nutrients in solute, and it's going to taste delicious. And then for lunch, you can also make a smoothie, again with 1 to 2 tablespoons of the flat belly meal replacement, and 1 tablespoon of almond butter. Excuse me. You can add your greens, your fruit, as well as 8 ounces of water. Alternatively, you can pair 4 to 6 ounces of your blood type protein with a vegetable and your blood type fat. So if that's I don't know if it's almond oil or avocado oil, olive oil, those kinds of things, healthy fat. And then for dinner or in the evening, you can choose a blood type appropriate protein, fat, and vegetable. And alternatively, you can make a salad with red onions and veggies and olive oil and cilantro and lemon juice and uh, a, a blood type appropriate protein. And I'm telling you, some of the salads that you can make with your appropriate blood type veggies can really, I'm telling you, knock the socks off of you, because it can be so filling and just so satisfying because of all of the various flavors. Now that your body is starting to be cleansed, you know, you can really taste the variety of flavors that come with fresh vegetables. And so only use healthy oils like grapeseed oil, avocado oil, coconut oil for cooking. Choose one that suits your blood type. And be sure and check out that list, because, for instance, I'm a B and I'm not supposed to use avocado or coconut oil. So grapeseed oil would be my choice. And then, let me see. Avoid cooking with olive oil because it can create trans fats when it's heated. Olive oil should really be consumed raw for maximum health benefits. And you can literally take olive oil and pour it over your salads. You can include something like one of our CBD seasonings. You can use red wine vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar. And I'm telling you, just make up your own salad dressing with some herbs and what have you. And you really got a healthy and nutritious and tasty salad working there. Then for your evening tea, again, if you decide to drink your bitters in portions, you drink your other 4 ounces in the evening just before bed, and do the same thing every night. Again, either 8 ounces in total at some point during the day, or break it up into 4 ounces twice a day, morning and evening. There you go.
That was awesome, Dr. Bettye. And we're just at the time we need to transition for our wellness coach certification process. So what we'll do is if there's a couple of quick questions, we can do that. Otherwise, we'll reserve anything for next Sunday when we resume this awesome information. So thank you, Dr. Bettye. That was amazing. I know everyone got a lot out of it. So let's definitely give Dr. Bettye a big round of applause and thank her for giving us all this awesome knowledge so that we can start our blood type journey on the right track. So appreciate you, kudos. And any questions, again, we can entertain about 1 or 2 minutes. Otherwise, we're gonna pivot to our wellness coach certification training with Christian Phillips. So let's just see real quick. May I ask a question? You sure can, Nakisha. So if you want to unmute, you can do it that way. That would be great. Let me just, yep.
Okay. Dr. Bettye, I was a person that didn't eat and therefore thought I was doing well. Can you speak to that, how important it is to like feed your body, and that, you know, just because you eat 1 meal a day or you don't eat consistently doesn't mean that your body doesn't need detoxing?
Oh, that is certainly true, Natasha. It is important for us to eat according to our blood type, number one, and to eat on a regular basis. Now, I am not one to say that one should eat 3 meals a day. Some people don't feel that they need that, but the quality of the food that you eat, I would say, is one of the most important considerations. And so the meal, the morning, afternoon, and evening protocol that we mentioned would be great. And as stated, the flat belly fuel is actually a complete meal replacement. So that really makes it quite easy for those who sometimes feel like they don't really have an appetite. That fuel, the flat belly fuel, has everything that your body needs. In fact, it provides you with the raw, dense nutrients to nourish your body, to support detoxification and regeneration or rebuilding of some of those old and dead cells that that we have. And so the other part to it is that if you don't eat on a regular basis, even though you might be small or feeling like you're not hungry, many times your body thinks that you're trying to starve it. And so what'll happen is it will hold on to food, nutrients and store them away as fat, because your body would say, well, I don't know when she's going to eat again, so I better hold on to this in case I need some energy. So that too can present a problem, because again, you don't have, number one, the nutrients available to rebuild healthy new cells, and then two, your body is holding on to food, nutrients, as well as toxins. Did that answer your question, Natasha?
Lakeisha.
Nikisha?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm
Thank you
so
so
sorry.
much. Oh, no worries at all. Thank you.
Okay.
Dr. Betty, this is Asali. There was another question that I noticed in the chat. I don't know if somebody I could find it to read it, but I don't know if Marcella, Rachel, if you had your question answered.
No, that wasn't me. It was somebody was asking. They were asking a question. I was trying to get clarity of what they needed, but no, it wasn't for me. It's above my question though that somebody had asked. But thank you.
Okay, wait, so I'm gonna see it.
I'm trying to find it. Oh, they had mentioned. I wonder, does the list include what does types should avoid? And I was trying to think, and I was trying to answer that, but that's what they had asked. That's Marguerite. I don't know if she's still on or not.
I believe
Preview of what they should avoid as well. Now, there's also a blood type card. So for those of you who would connect with the person who invited you, they can give you a full laminated, beautiful card that's going to give you everything you need to know. So if you are that type of person, you want to know every single detail, connect with the person who invited you. Many of them have purchased our blood type card kits that they're now selling and making available. But yeah, you'll get a preview of your blood type avoids. But this list for the digital focuses on your yes foods. Yeah. Hopefully that clarifies.
Well, since my name did come up, well, I didn't know that we could. So it's okay to do that delicious tea, and drink it hot as well. Doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. It doesn't really matter then.
it really
we do.
doesn't.
Okay.
It really does. It depends on your palate.
Woo! And we can add lemon to add something to it if we do it like that.
I would encourage you not to add anything to it. If you think you need a chaser, then have yourself a lemon slice that you can
Put in my mouth right after.
Yeah, right after, exactly.
Yes, yeah. Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh boy.
What they say, are you a straight no chaser, Marcella?
Right.
And listen, I just tried this recently I'm like, and I did it online on the live, so I had to keep my smiling face. But boy, when I let go of that live, it was, it was like I needed, yeah,
Yeah,
we tried to chase it with something, Lord.
it was
But
something.
we know the reason for. I said that it wasn't meant to be delicious. It's bitter. The bitter, the better. Ain't that what you said? They said in Asia,
Bigger,
the
better.
bitter.
Yes, yes,
There you
yes, yes.
go. So hey, that's what we go out for.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah, it's fun to see people's expression the first time they have it, but it changes their life. So if you've never had bitter tea, you're missing out on half your life. So let's go ahead and get your bitter tea.